right, so we're on to week 17. There's one more regular season game. It's just it's crazy. There's no more Thursday games. I think next week, I don't think there is a Monday game next week. I have to look. I haven't looked at week 18 yet. Because I go week by week. I don't want to look too far ahead. So, I don't know if there is a week, or sorry, not a week. I don't know if there is a Monday game for week 18. I think next Sunday, or the following Sunday is it. So, no more Thursday football. Again, potentially no more Monday football next week until, I think Super Wildcard Weekend has a Monday football, so I think that's the last Monday football, and then it's from there on out, it's Sundays. So, it's just bittersweet. I mean, it felt like the whole offseason took a whole year to go by, and then all of a sudden, just the regular season's just flying by. Faster than a football being thrown 60 yards by Justin Herbert. Or was it? I think it was 60-some yards. that was an insane throw the other week, by the way. Against the Giants, who, we're going to start out right there. Look at that transition. We're going to start out right there as the Giants head to face the Bears in Chicago. I mean, I don't have any faith in the Giants, so I'm just going to go with Chicago just because. Then Jacksonville heads to New England to face the Patriots. New England should beat up Jacksonville. They really should. If they don't, you got to be worried. If this is a real low-scoring game, close game, whatever, you got to be worried if you're in New England. I know the Buffalo did lose to them, so you can at least say, hey, well, our divisional rival lost to them, and they're doing fine right now. They just beat us last week. So you can say that, but losing to Jacksonville does not look good on your resume, especially heading into the playoffs here in 2 weeks. So, but going New England, they should get it done. Then the Rams head to Baltimore. I don't think Lamar is playing. I think they're kind of resting him until either week 18 or the playoffs if they make it, which they can still fall out of the playoffs. They're the number 7 seed right now. If they don't, I think they have to win at least a game. One of these last 2 games. I think they need other people to lose a couple games. In order to stay in the playoffs. But, I have them losing here to the Rams because the Rams are my pick. But, it's going to be very interesting if Baltimore does not make it and they fall out of the playoffs. At least the race heading into Week 18 next week. It's going to be very interesting. Then Tampa heads to face the Jets. Tampa obviously had the easiest schedule. They beat up on the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton, overrated. They have to go face them again. I think, are they at home? I don't know. No, I think they're on the road against Carolina next week. But they should beat up on the Jets. They should. So, then Atlanta and Buffalo in Buffalo. Buffalo should win this, but I'm not 100% sold on them. I mean, they're going up right now, but they've had an up and down year and up and down and up and down. But they're going up right now, so, for momentum for the playoffs, you got to win this game. So I'm hoping they do, and I'm hoping the Bills are who we thought they were, not a pretender. Because I would really like to see them at least in the AFC Championship game again, and then potentially, beat, like Kansas City in the AFC Championship game or whatever, whoever makes it. But I would like to see at least the Bills go far in the playoffs, if not the Super Bowl. So, yeah. But, they got to start going up. They got to start getting momentum, which, again, they just beat up on New England last week. So, now's the right time to start getting good, start getting hot, start getting, ready for the playoffs. So, there you go. Then, this, it's supposed to be my game of the week. Oh, wow. Kansas City had to face Cincinnati. What can I say? This is going to be a good matchup. Again, I forgot to put this as game of the week. That's my bad. But Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes, 2 pretty high flying offenses that are heating up, getting good at the right time. Cincinnati leads their division. They're in the top 4 seeds right now. Kansas City obviously has the number 1 seed. So I am picking Cincinnati at home to beat Kansas City. I'm expecting a shootout. I'm expecting Cincinnati to get the ball last, and they just need a field goal to win. Is what I'm expecting. Probably 34-31 or something like that. Decently high scoring shootout between these two teams, and I think Cincinnati barely hangs on, and wins this game. Or not? Well, I guess comes from behind because they, in my opinion, in my fantasy, if I'm booking this. In my head, they're either tied or they're down 2 or down 1 and need a field goal to win. So that's how I see it in my head. So they're coming back and winning this game is how I see it. Then this will actually be a fun game. Miami's on a 7-game win streak. Tennessee's heating up a little bit. I forget who they played last week. Let me just. Oh, San Francisco. Duh. Forgot about that. Yeah, San Francisco. Just beat San Francisco. They woke up in the second half. I got Tennessee winning. I think this will be, I don't want to say a decently high game. Maybe like 27-24. Tennessee wins by just a 3-point, or by 3 points. But I'm expecting Miami to give them a fight. They're fighting for their playoff lives too. And they're on a 7-game win streak right now. They just beat up the Saints backup. So, Tennessee is, they're rolling again, but if Miami catches them sleeping and they put up a decent amount of points early on, then Tennessee's going to be playing from behind. And, it's going to be a fun game, interesting game. So I'm looking forward to this game. Probably my number 2 game of the week. Well, no, I guess Arizona-Dallas would be number 2. Yeah. So number 3 game of the week. Then the Raiders head to face Indy in Indy. Jonathan Taylor's gonna run all over this team. The Raiders are confusing, I guess is the right word. I just don't know who they are week to week. So I'm picking Indy to win. Last week I picked the Raiders to win. Oh, no, sorry, I picked against the Raiders and the Raiders won. So if I pick against them again and they win again, I don't know. Guess I'm going to pick the Raiders next week. I don't know. I don't even know who they face next week. Then Philly heads to Washington. Taylor Heinicke either was injured or on the COVID list or whatever, and they basically said that Kyle Allen is going to be the starter for the last 2 weeks. But Taylor Heinicke is their number 1 QB next year, is essentially what Washington came out and said earlier this week. So I'm picking Philly. Philly's on a hot streak right now. Looking, good. They're trying to gain momentum. They win out. There's potential they can make the playoffs and are, in the wild card. And, you make that 7 seed and then it's just, anyone's game. You can beat anyone. Anything can happen. So, again, Philly's a team where under the right circumstances, they could be dangerous. You never know. So, but it's just, they have to beat Dallas. If they can beat Dallas next week, I think you got to say they're going to be, a little bit dangerous in the playoffs. So, but Dallas could be fighting for that 1 seed next week. So, possibly they have to go against the starters instead of the backups. You never know. So, then Denver heads to the Chargers. Chargers coming off of a terrible, horrible, just dominating loss to the Texans of all teams. The Texans put up 41 on the Chargers. There was pick 6. I think there was like a punt return or a kick return or something. Like, Texans were just doing whatever they wanted to this LA team. So I'm picking Denver to upset them. I think on paper, Chargers are a better team. So that's why this is an upset, is because, I kind of see it on paper. Because, again, the games haven't been played yet. So, you have to kind of look at, how they are, what they're doing. And coming into this week, they're not looking good. So I'm picking Denver to beat them again, because they already beat them once. And I think they can do it again and sweep them. Because Denver's fighting for their playoff lives, too. So, there's a lot of teams fighting for their playoff lives right now. Then Houston heads to San Francisco. If San Francisco loses to Houston... do not lose to Houston. just I don't know what to say. Do not, just that's all I can say, to be honest, because I don't know how the Chargers probably got too cocky and like, oh yeah, it's the Texans, we got this, and they just get blown out. So just don't do what the Chargers did. Just don't do it. So picking San Francisco to win this game, just praying they don't pull a Chargers on us. But San Francisco's a better team, so they shouldn't. But you never know. So then Detroit heads to Seattle. Now Bears came back, beat Seattle in Seattle, and I don't want to say it was a blizzard, but there was some decent amount of snow coming down. And it was just it was a snowy game. And Bears came back and they went for 2 and won the game. So I'm picking Detroit to upset Seattle in Seattle. Seattle's just not looking good recently. So I think, Detroit has a chance here. I think they can. You pound the rock, pound the ball. I was gonna say, but pound the rock. Well, either one works. And I think there's potential you could get this W. So another upset there. And then this is everyone's game of the week. Again, outside mine is Kansas City, Cincinnati. But a lot of people are gonna be paying attention to Arizona and Dallas. Obviously, it means everything to the NFC right now. All the top seeds. It means so much to the first 4 seeds in the playoffs. It means a lot if Arizona can win and LA can lose. So there's a lot riding on Arizona winning here. Arizona's they're coming off, 2-game losing streak, 3-game losing streak, or something like that. Like they're not playing well recently. So I am picking them to bounce back finally get that win again. I think they should have bounced back last week. Colts last week, and that they lost to. So I'm hoping that they can bounce back and just somehow, some way beat Dallas despite they're on a cold streak. So eventually that's got to snap, and they got to start warming up again. But I expect a fight here. Dallas is not putting up 56 points. I can tell you right now. They're probably going to maybe put up 20s or 30s. I could see a high-scoring game here between these two. I could see, just a lot of offense and not as much defense. Mainly because both QBs can scramble. I know Kyler can scramble more than Dak, but both can scramble, extend plays. Both have weapons down there. And so it's going to be hard for the defenses to, not only contain, but, defend all these, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs that are going out there. It's going to be it'll be a fun game. It really will be. So I get why everyone's looking at this as game of the week, but I just think just looking at Kansas City and Cincinnati right now, just looking at that, like, whoo, that's going to be a fun game too. I know that's going to mean a lot for the AFC playoff picture. So there's 2 games this week that are going to mean a lot for both sides of the playoff picture. So I guess I would probably have these about tied because of the meaning of the game. But I just think Kansas City and Cincinnati we'll have more fireworks. I guess we'll put it that way. More fireworks versus Arizona, Dallas could be more of a grind. But it could be a shootout too. So then Carolina heads to New Orleans. Not a lot to say here. New Orleans should win this. I know they're decimated with COVID and all this crap, but they should get Taysom Hill back if they don't already have him back. And that defense is better, or that they're a good defense. New Orleans has a good defense, and Carolina just is not that good. So I'm picking New Orleans at home. But expect just not a fun game because both teams are injured and COVID ridden and whatnot. So New Orleans wins a weird game, maybe in the teens. I can't even give a number because I think it'll just be a weird game. Then Minnesota, Green Bay for the Sunday night game. Adam Thielen he's out for the season, so he's not being in this game. No word on Dalvin Cook for Minnesota either. So it's basically going to be Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, and that's going to be it for the offense. Well, obviously they have other playmakers and whatnot, but the big names for Minnesota, it's basically Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins now. So that sucks because I enjoy watching Adam Thielen when he's not torching our defense. I enjoy watching him. Dalvin Cook's fun to watch too. He's a very good back, so them not Potentially not. Again, I have not heard anything. It's only Wednesday, so he could very well be activated later on this week. But saying that, Green Bay is getting. Well, I don't know if he's going to start. There's no one if he's going to start, but Jair Alexander has been activated in 53-man roster, so they may put him out there for a couple drives just to see how he does. Obviously, get the rust off. He may not play too much. So, it'll be interesting to see what he does, how much he's out there. But getting him back in the secondary is going to be pretty nice. But our secondary's been doing... They've been doing fine without him. They've been doing... Well, I mean, fine. They've been doing pretty good, except for the... I mean, they're going downhill recently because that defense is just letting up a lot of points. So, we could see another shootout like last time. 34-31 was last time. We could see another score very similar to that, but I have the Packers winning maybe by a field goal instead of Minnesota. I think they learned last time that, that 75-yard shot to MVS that tied up the game with, was it 2:10 to go? I think you learn now, take off the 2-minute warning and then, slowly drive down the field instead of one shot, 75 yards, and then giving the ball right back to Kirk Cousins. I think, can't do that this time. I think they need to learn their lesson. So, I got Packers in a close one. Again, it could very well be another 34-31 type of game, very high scoring between these two teams. Again, yes, Adam Thielen is not in there, but you just never know with Minnesota because Minnesota is our kryptonite. So there's that. But Minnesota also needs this game to stay alive in the playoff hunt too. So it's going to be an interesting, fun Sunday night game. Again, there's a lot. I mean, a lot of games are going to be affected. But if Minnesota loses, I mean, they very well could be eliminated from playoff contention. Not mathematically, but figuratively, I guess, is how I would say it. Yeah. Then, potentially our last Monday night game, Cleveland heads to Pittsburgh. I don't know what to say here, because Pittsburgh is not good. They're not a super good team. Cleveland is, COVID-ridden and whatnot, injuries and whatnot. So, I think Cleveland will win this game. Obviously, it is a divisional game. And, I always say, throw logic out the window and whatnot. But I think Nick Chubb should do well enough, carry this offense to a victory. Baker may throw a pick or two, but I still think that Cleveland should be able to win this game against Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's not doing well. So, for now, though, I'm going to wrap up here. Like the video, share the video around. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'm out of here. Peace.